Young living every day, giving it to you and cutting straight. Now today's topic, y'all, is about this black girl that got locked up in Dubai. Y'all got to hear what her mom said, and what others said as well. Let's dive into it.
On Fox, the last 2 months are described as terrifying for a Houston woman who we're told is being detained in Dubai.
Fox 26's Domly Keith joining us live near downtown Houston with why she's being held. Domly.
Well, the crime she's charged with may surprise you, and Dubai is increasingly becoming a vacation spot for a number of Houston women. One who's there right now, according to her social media page, is trying to get back to the Bayou City, but according to her mom, her passport has been confiscated because she was charged with screaming in public.
It also could result in prison time. So it's very scary.
The trip turned terrifying for Tierra Young Allen when her mom says she was a passenger in a friend's rental car and they got into an accident there in Dubai. Tina Baxter says when her daughter went to the company to retrieve her ID, credit card, and other items left in the rental, Baxter says it did not go well.
What?
So let me get this straight. She was in the passenger seat and they got into an accident in a rental car, but when she tried to get her information back, it didn't go well. If you were just a passenger in the accident, why would there be any issue you getting your information back? Let's see. Let's continue.
She found out that she could only receive those items if she paid an undisclosed amount of money. She dealt with a very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says, resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
Now, I don't know how the rules is specifically in Dubai, but before I dive into it, I will say one thing for sure and one thing for certain. A lot of women have really high ego. It's a lot of entitlement that comes from that. So typically in a country like this, that's a predominantly Muslim country, they don't tolerate disrespect from nobody, and especially women being out of line and being disrespectful. However, they said that when they got into an accident that she had to pay a fee. My question is, why would they charge you a fee if you're on the passenger side? Now, I don't know the rules over in Dubai. Was the car in her name? Did you insure the vehicle? Because typically, if you don't insure a vehicle and you rent a car, in the States at least, if something happened, you're responsible for it. And then the mother says that the man was yelling and screaming at her. It's always one side. The man was yelling and screaming at her. Why was the man yelling and screaming at her? Why? So she just walked in there and this dude just randomly started yelling and screaming at her. I'm not buying it, man. I'm just not buying it, man. There's more to the story. I think she's telling one half of a story, man. Some women do not like to be held accountable for their actions. They have a hard time being held accountable for what they did.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
Really, nigga?
Hold on. Not like I just told y'all. In a Muslim country, in a Muslim societies, they don't tolerate disrespect from women. And they said she yelled, and they don't tolerate women yelling. See, this is what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I tell guys about getting their passports. Not trying to get off subject, but in America allow women to disrespect and do whatever they want to. So they are allowed to go around and act this way because there's no consequences for your behavior. But she went out taking those American, idolizations out into Dubai. And what you should know, if you're in a country like that, that's predominantly Muslim country, as a woman, if you're traveling there, you should know the rules. You can't go on a turf and just think you can do what you want to do. Dubai is not a third world place. He's talking about the laws is all shifted and all this other stuff. And this is the problem we have in America, where you got men like that who has an issue with women being held accountable for their decisions. Now, granted, if the guy in the spot is yelling at you, this is one thing that she have to understand. She's a visitor in their country. You're a visitor in that place. So when you go to somebody else's country, you're abiding by their rules. I don't care how much of the person you is, how much entitled you is in the States. When you go there, you abide by their rules or you leave. You can't go into somebody else's country being disrespectful. I don't care how much the man was yelling. You're on somebody else's turf. You got to know how to control your emotions, deal with it accordingly. Somebody yelling, go talk to somebody who, was above that person or something. I don't know if this happened inside the rental car spot. Let me talk to the manager. Let me talk to who's in charge here, who called the shots. Because you're conducting yourself. You have to be able to conduct yourself when you're in their country.
You're goddamn right.
Now, she thought because in America, you can just do what you want to do. This man started yelling at you. Say this really happened. And then she started yelling back because she got triggered. Then she got locked up. I would have saw that one coming. I guess they don't tolerate disrespect. Let's continue.
Site warns, quote, laws and customs are very different, so be aware of your actions to ensure they don't offend while in United Arab Emirates.
Like I just said, you need to know the laws and rules when you go into these other countries and you moving and shaking because you're on somebody else's time. You disrespect and violate, they won't have no problem throwing no female in jail. See, in these countries like this, you're gonna, as a woman, they're gonna hold you accountable for your actions. That ain't America. But let's continue.
Daughter was charged with screaming in Dubai. Her passport has been taken, and the American social media influencer who works as a truck driver can't leave the UAE, according to her mom. And her mom says she's been placed under a travel ban pending the outcome of the investigation.
It's very frightening. The longer she's been there, the more reality has started to kick in.
In our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. This is why women in America, some of the women in America had a mindset they had talking about some that's not right. Don't try to punish him for doing the same thing that a man can do. That country is thrived on respect. They don't tolerate disrespect for women. They just don't. And he want to get mad, but he have to understand that ain't America. And this is the problem when you got people, see, he's so indoctrinated into believing this crap in America. It's socially acceptable to accept the dysfunction in the community in America. You can't go over there, like I said already, doing that stuff like that. It's not working. If a man do something, she should be able to do something. Not really. And in that culture, women are known to be submissive, respectful to the man. They don't tolerate that over there. You can't go into these other countries pushing your American ways and entitlement behavior out there. You're going to get punished for it. Man or woman, this could have been a dude. The same thing would have happened. Man or woman, you're going to be held accountable in this place. That's the thing about, that's one thing I did not talk about when I say get your passport, go overseas. You can't go in these countries thinking that you better than somebody, think you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do. They will throw you in jail. But let's continue.
Now, the 29-year-old does now have an attorney there in Dubai, and her mom says she's told that she could face jail time because there is surveillance video of her screaming. Now, we have reached out to the U.S. and the UAE embassies. Will government officials step in and give her assistance? I'm still awaiting responses. Reporting live near downtown Houston, I'm Damalie Keith, Fox 26 News.
Now, let's rewind it to this part where this guy was talking. I want to stamp on that one really good.
Our opinion, she did not commit a crime. Don't punish women for doing the same thing a man can do in Dubai. It's not fair and it's not right.
That right there. In our opinion, she didn't do a crime. Like I said, they're so used to tolerating the dysfunction that he think it's okay for her to be yelling at a man because a man is yelling at a woman. Ridiculous, man. This why, and not trying to be funny, this is why in America it's gonna get worse and worse. And these women just won't improve. Some of these women are not going to improve. There is no burden performance on you as a woman to be held accountable for your bad decisions. You can just go out and do whatever you want to, no accountability. That only flies in America, guys, because America thrives off the dollar. They don't care about a happy wife and husband. They are all about money. The best thing about America is the dollar power, building businesses, having careers, things like that. Outside of that, you ain't going to Dubai with that. Nah, you're not going to be able to go to any place in the Middle East with that mindset. Anybody from the Middle East who watch my channel, you know what I'm talking about. Listen, she could have went to Jordan. She could have went to Sudan. She could have went to Morocco. You know, she could have went to Iran. Any other, I'm not saying she's allowed there, but what I'm saying is, say she was in these other countries, the same things apply. Listen, in these predominantly Muslim countries, they are not tolerating no disrespect for no woman. It don't matter how you feel about America. Well, I don't think she like this. It doesn't matter how you feel. Feels and reals are two different things, man. Just for anybody. Like I say, get your passport. Make sure y'all look up the laws in whatever country you go to, because if you try to bring that stuff there, it ain't happening, man. These people ain't tolerating that. But as a woman, you got to be held accountable for your responsibility. This probably needed to happen to her. Not trying to be funny. Some people might be mad at me for saying that. It is what it is. It needed to happen because these girls, their egos are so large, some of them. This is a humbling experience to her because she thought she was invincible and she can do what she want to do. That's how a lot of American girls think. Now you see, you detained over there. Now you know you can't just go around in other places and do and say what you want. It's a humbling experience I guarantee it is. And this is some of the same rules that they need to push in America on some of these women, because if they held accountable, then they'll start behaving better. But again, like I said, all they care about is the dollar. You even look at this guy. He's a news reporter. He's even taking up for the dysfunction. They so socially accepting to this stuff, man, because they don't know no better. He ain't been to no predominantly Muslim nation. I can tell he haven't. Not you. You cannot go to these places and think you and have that same mindset that he have. All that dude know is America. But listen, y'all, man, I said what I had to say about the video. Before I get out of here, y'all, appreciate the support from my old subscribers who've been there from day one. My new subscribers, I appreciate y'all. And anybody who've been currently watching, you know, subscribe to the channel. I like to see y'all thoughts and opinions in the comments about what happened to this lady and what they say on the news in this video, stuff like that. Before I get out of here, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell another friend. Listen, I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.
Yeah, got the streets on fire, feel the heat, the Wayne way. Ain't never had no handouts, put in work, I'm self-made. Superhero strength, I got the power, Luke Cage. Flexing on them haters like Drake. This is real rap, no cap. Bust it down like packs. Hustle hard like I trap. I'm certified with no stamp.